All right, for our next project, we are going to be studying the art of Jim Dine, and you have already read the Scholastic Art article about Jim Dine and his artwork and some of his ideas and why he creates his art. So I would like for you to tell me 3 things that you have learned about Jim Dine. Okay, so as a review for all of us, Jim Dine is a pop artist, so that means that his artwork are things from popular culture. So oftentimes we think of Andy Warhol, that guy that did all of the soup cans, as a pop artist. Jim Dine was the same thing. So he did a lot of hearts and also a lot of tools. And so his subject matter are tools and everyday objects. And these are things that reference his childhood. He spent a lot of time as a child working in his grandfather's hardware store. So these are things that kind of bring him memories of that time in his life. So his artwork references his childhood in a couple of different ways. Now, for this video, we are going to be talking about what a formal analysis is. So this is how to look at, talk about, and write about art. These are the 4 steps that we go through for writing about art. It's a pretty easy formula to follow, and we'll go through each of the 4 steps together. So first, this is our Jim Dine artwork that we are going to look at. It was from your Scholastic Art article, and it is called Child's Blue Wall, and he made it in 1962. So I will give you a couple seconds just to look at this artwork. And here is another view of it. This is a blurry photo, but you kind of get a little bit more of the 3-dimensionality of it and some of the things that are sticking off of it. So, looking at this artwork, we are going to go through these 4 steps of a formal analysis: describe, analyze, interpret, and evaluate. So let's start with describe. So, describe is list everything that you see, obvious subject matter, and images. So, this is just talking about what I see with my eyes. So, here I see a very, very large square canvas, and it is painted blue with white stars and kind of darker blue circles. And over on the left-hand side, I see what looks like an old light switch. And then down in the right-hand corner, I see a lamp with no shade on it. And it kind of looks like a little castle with a figurine on it. So that's the describe step. That's usually the easiest one because you're just talking about what you see. Next is analyze. So this is where you write an element and principle statement. So thinking about how we write element and principle statements, what is that first step of writing an element and principle statement? So first we start with picking a principle. So thinking about my principles, I think that this has very strong unity, because we have this kind of large area that feels very cohesive. I also do think that it uses pattern with the pattern of this kind of wallpaper almost. But I'm going to choose one. I'm going to choose unity because I feel like I can write about that better. So first step, pick a principle, and then go ahead and tell me what our second step is. So our second step is picking an element. So I chose unity, and what is creating that unity? So I feel like for this artwork, there's a couple of things that are creating the unity, but I want to talk about color because we have different values of color, right? We have this kind of light blue that's almost white, and a medium blue and a little bit of a darker blue, but they all kind of go together. They feel cohesive. So that's my second step, decide my principle. Now, third step is to write an element and principle statement with specific detail. So for me, mine would probably be this Jim Dine artwork creates strong unity over the entire canvas with different shades of blues. The stars are light blue, the background is a medium blue, and the circles are a darker blue. So that would be my element and principle statement. Now, our third step is interpret. So what is the artist trying to say or show? What do you see that makes you say that? So this is you trying to figure out, what does this mean? What is the artist trying to say? So knowing what we know about Jim Dine, he is a pop artist, so he does things from everyday life, and his artwork also references his childhood. I think that this artwork here is supposed to look like a wall from maybe his childhood bedroom, or just in general a child's bedroom. So and we also do have the title that kind of helps us. It's called Child's Blue Wall. So maybe I could say Jim Dine is trying to talk about or make an artwork about what it's like to be a child. If you are standing in a gallery looking at this artwork, it is ginormous, so it kind of makes you feel a little bit small. So maybe it would kind of give us that sense of being little again. So I'm kind of explaining what is the artist trying to say or show, and then also rationalizing that. So what do I see that makes me say that? So Jim Dine is trying to kind of bring us back to our childhoods and remind us of what it's like to be little because of the scale of this artwork. It is so big and we are so small in comparison. So that's my interpret for this. And you can't get this wrong as long as you try and explain it and you try to find some sort of meaning within an artwork. This is just your interpretation. And then our last step is evaluate. So this is your opinion. Do you like it? Do you think it's good? Does it convey its message well? So again, you cannot get this wrong as long as you explain and defend yourself. So I think that this is a good piece of what we can call conceptual art. So it's an artwork about an idea. Do I think that I would hang this in my home? Probably not. It doesn't really fit with my personal aesthetic, which is just kind of what I think is beautiful and nice. So that would be my evaluate for this artwork. Okay, so your next step is to find a Jim Dine artwork and go through the 4 steps of formal analysis for it. So as a review, those are describe, listing everything that you see, analyze, element and principle statement, interpret, finding meaning, evaluate, your opinion.